657 with the talented, inspiring journalist Shea-Lynn Noyes. She's also not only a journalist, but she's a model. And you played some basketball back in the day too, right?
I did.
Yeah, so we're gonna get into all that, and I'm pretty sure you're a big Raptors fan too, right? From Canada.
Raptors for life.
Yeah.
The North. Okay.
Yeah, so I just want to say thank you for joining the show today. It's truly an honor. We finally made this happen, and like I said, you're inspiring, you're amazing, and I love your work. And I'm glad to connect with you. And first of all, how are you and your family doing during this tough situation? And obviously, we're into a new year. Hopefully, this is a positive year for us.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here and excited to finally meet you. I feel like I've been seeing all your posts and shows, and I'm like, wow. So I'm honored to be here. So thank you for having me.
Anytime.
Family is good. I'm very fortunate that my family and any immediate friends in my life have been quite safe and making the best of the current situation as possibly they can. So hopefully that energy continues on to the new year.
Yeah. Where you're located right now?
So I'm currently in Toronto, Canada. Yeah.
Yeah. So before, obviously, I'm going to ask you a lot about the season so far, but I want to get to your career first. So while growing up and in your lifetime, when did you realize that you wanted to be in the sports business and the sports industry? And also, first, let me get into your basketball career. So when did you start picking up the basketball, and who did you look up to in the NBA or WNBA while growing up and learning your craft and the way how to go about the business?
Yeah, so I grew up actually in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and that's where my first love of basketball happened. I started playing in the 6th grade, and I didn't realize I was good at it until high school. And I had offers kind of coming to me, and I was like, oh, I could make something out of this. And back then, it's crazy. I wasn't super into watching the NBA.
Right.
I wasn't really following it. I just stumbled upon this gift of basketball. That's honestly how it happened. So after I graduated high school, I had multiple offers. I then chose one, and I studied architecture and interior design.
Oh, wow.
So I did that for 5 years, thinking that's the path, that's what I'm going to do, nothing else. Later in life, as I finally graduated, was very successful in my basketball career, I thought, okay, I need to just grow up and get a job. So I did that, realized I was very unsatisfied, and made a shift and pursued things that I love, which is sports media and modeling, which are 2 things that naturally just fell into my life. But for some strange reason, I never jumped on them until now, within the last year and a half. Yeah.
So, every time whenever I have reporters on, and I like to make comparisons, in a good way, you definitely remind me of Taylor Rooks.
Oh, thank you. I love Taylor.
I mean, you remind me of her the way you do your business and the way you work, and I think you're the next Taylor Rooks, in my opinion.
I'm just gonna try to be the Taylor Rooks of Canada, but be the Shea-Lynn, and make my own.
But so explain to me, whoever didn't know about you as a basketball player, what did you bring to the game? And speaking of offers, how many offers did you get? And did you end up playing college basketball too, or?
Yeah, so I ended up playing college basketball here in Canada.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure how many offers I would have had back in the day. There was more than one, but I ended up going with the offer that gave me a full ride, just because I didn't come from a place of money and I wasn't really sure how I was going to pay for an education. It was critical to me that I had an education because not a lot of people did. I don't even know. Trying to think. But during my career as a basketball player, I played 5 years collegiate women's basketball here in Canada. We won a national medal, 3 provincial medals. I think I have 3 MVPs.
Wow, 3 MVPs?
I'm the record steals holder coordinator in my conference. I think I still am. I'll have to check Google. Um,
I
I was
can check for you right now, actually.
you can Google
Yeah.
my stats. Oh goodness, no.
Okay.
Um, yeah, academic all Canadian. So when I was honors and like also a first
Oh,
team
wow.
athlete, like humbly very blessed. Like I said, basketball was not a thing on my radar when I was
Right.
young. It just fell into my lap and has honestly been the biggest blessing to me. So yeah.
Let me ask you this, but did you ever think after your college basketball career, did you ever think that you said to yourself, I can play in the WNBA. Did you ever think that you could play in the
Yeah.
WNBA?
So definitely, it was my 5th year, and after my 5th year, it was like you're either getting a job, you're going to play pro, you get to make the choice now.
Mhm.
It definitely crossed my mind, and I remember thinking on it and thinking on it and thinking on it, and realizing they don't make that much money. Do I really take a risk doing this? My body also was beaten down, like I just didn't feel confident, and I felt more confident pursuing the architecture
Mhm.
industry. It was safer. I was going to finally be making more money. So at that time in my life, I definitely thought about it. Looking back now, I wish I would have played like 1 year, like, or just tried to play overseas for a
Yeah.
year, um, because I do miss the game. I do. It's such a happy part of my life, and I never realized how happy it really made me until I completely cut it off. And then only within the last 2 years, I'm kind of re-bringing basketball back into my life and realizing, wow, this is the happiest I've ever been. I'm
Mhm.
so at peace. I feel like I have a purpose and a passion. So yeah.
Yeah. So, so after your playing career, obviously, was it a what was the transition like going from playing and now going into the journalism world, the sports industry, and covering these games and seeing from the different aspects from the other side of it, and what's that like, and what has that transition been like for you, and obviously what's it like connecting with all these other reporters in Toronto?
Yeah, it's a big shift. It is a shock. I come from an industry where I'm at the office or I'm sitting with clients.
Hmm.
It's very structured, I would say. Um, Embracing this new role of like sports media and covering sports and talking to athletes and being involved is
Right.
so different.
Yeah.
So even myself, I'm learning.
Right.
I'm learning a lot as I go. I'm just college of life, and experiences. And I still, it blows my mind that I'm even doing this or pursuing to do this, but I have a lot of passion and
Right.
determination. I'm gonna make it work somehow. Um, but it is so different, and every single day I'm learning. That's the only way I can put it. But all you can do is try, and all you can do is reach out to people, and all you can do is get better at your skills. And I feel like I reach out to so many aspiring female, typically Black female reporters,
Yeah.
just to understand how they're doing it. I didn't go to school for journalism,
Right.
but I love it. I love to write. I love to do, and I love to be involved into it. So I like to pick the brains of those women who did.
Hmm.
I don't necessarily want to go back to school. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that. I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to like ride this wave of like being a model, and my face is already out there quite a bit. So
Right.
I'm just going to see where it kind of takes me. But um, it's just such a shock. It's very different. I'm learning every day. It's a very fast industry. There's new headlines, new stories all the time, new games, new people, new this, new athletes. You have to be on your toes.
Yeah.
It's quite a roller coaster, but it's the funnest ride I have ever been on.
Wow. Yeah. So obviously, before we get into more into your journalist career, I want to ask you about your model business. When did you get interested in that, and what's that been like? The experience being a model.
I feel like since I was quite young, everyone has always been like, Shea-Lynn, are you model? Do you model? Why don't you model? Why don't you model? Um, and I didn't model young because I chose sports.
Hmm.
Or interest to play sports. And then when I finally had the choice to like shift my life away from architecture and just do anything, do
Right.
your wildest dream, it was like I'm gonna try and model and see where it takes me. And it kind of feels like it's like the snowball effect. it kind of blew up, and it was a perfect fit for myself, my look, and it still blows my mind that I'm like, I say that I'm a model. That's how I pay. That's how I pay for my place. That's how I live, you know. But it's really fun. It's very much me. I've worked with some really, really incredible companies and done some cool campaigns. I feel like there's like some fun, weird, interesting ones I've done. I would say like McDonald's. I was the international coffee person.
Oh wow.
It was really cool to be a part of that. It was a random, I never thought like I would see myself on it, but super random, super weird. I don't know. I've done Knixwear. I've done Nishi New York, Walmart ads.
Wow.
Tons of different ones. Tonal. It's like a workout company.
Yeah, Tonal. I have in my basement right now. Tonal. I have that equipment.
Okay. Yeah. So you'll see.
So
I'll be there.
So you were on the thing? Like,
yeah. So you'll see me in the new Tonal ads coming 2021.
oh wow, that's awesome.
So I don't want to expose like everything that.
Okay. Yeah.
But there's some really cool ads and companies that I've worked for that I think is going to continue to grow. I feel like that's a part of my life, or at least career, that's booming for me. So I'm kind of riding that wave. The sports media, I'm trying to balance both of the waves, you know? But we'll see where it takes me. I'm optimistic about 2021.
Here, look, here you go. I'll give you some.
Oh, Tono! Oh my, that's so fun. I spent like a week with that machine.
Oh my God, that's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. It's really, you can do anything with it. Like
I love it. I need to get one. I just need to figure out where I would put it.
Yeah. But yeah, I was gonna ask you that. How do you balance both being a journalist and a model at the same time, or do you guys? That's why your schedule is so hectic. But like, how do you balance it out? And like on certain days, you have like modeling on certain days, and then journalists. You obviously have to be a journalist every day. But when do you have the model business?
They're all kind of like, they all intersect and they all overlap. Yeah. I'm really fortunate that I have a great agent who understands that I love to cover Raptors specific games and content. So I don't necessarily have to worry about covering Nets, Lakers, Celtics. Like that's a lot. That's too much for me just at this time in my life because I have the modeling. So anytime that I have like a Raptors heavy day, Raptors related anything, that's like an open day essentially, or open block of time. Otherwise I'm booked for castings, I'm booked for go-sees, I'm booked for this photo shoot, booked for that photo shoot. So you just kind of go, and I don't know, I feel like as an athlete and as a student athlete, we know, and myself, how to juggle and how to manage time. You've got practice, you've got school, you've got study, you've got lift, you've got morning practice, you have all of these different things all on the same day, and you have to get it done, and you have to figure out how. So I just go for it. If things are overlapped, usually people are very understanding. If I have to cut anything, I mean, I don't really cut things. I just like stay awake until things get done. Yeah, but you do it. You somehow manage. In the end, everything always works out in the end. Always, no matter what it is,
Yeah, so that's what I like about you. You keep working hard, you keep going, and even though you have a hectic schedule, the one thing I like about these interviews is I get to learn a lot from these people and in their each personalities. And for you, it just amazed me how you can balance both of them and continue with the hectic schedule, and you still have the energy to do it. So that's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely a lot of energy in me.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Anytime. Yeah. But I gotta ask you though, going back to the journalism. So what advice have you gotten so far in your career? Obviously, you're still learning the thing, but speaking of connections, have you connected with Taylor Rooks, for example, and then Jamil Hill is another one that I love. Jamil Hill, she's a great one, and
love her.
What have those two given you advice, or any other reporters given you advice throughout your career?
I have not reached out to those particular two. I would love to. I believe I will
Mhm.
one day soon. Um, the reporters that I have spoken to, which is quite a few of them, a lot of Canadian and a lot of American hosts,
Mm.
I would say in arena hosts, have all said to network, reach out to whoever
Right.
and ask them questions. Don't ask them for jobs. Ask them what they might tell their younger self, you know?
Mhm.
Get to know them, follow them, keep up with them. Secondly, get reps.
Mm.
Repetition in terms of um, being confident on camera, being confident with interviews, being confident with athletes.
Right.
Get reps doing what it is you want to do. So if you have to intern to get those reps, if you have to network to get those reps, what do you have to do to like, get repetition to get good at your practice and your craft? And then just like believe in yourself. Like it's a very tough world for women. It's I think the narrative is changing and shifting, and I think there's a lot more women in this industry than there ever
Yes.
was before, especially women of color and women of different ethnicities, which is so beautiful and
Yeah.
incredible to see. So believe in yourself. There's going to be tons of naysayers, and there's going to be tons of opinionated people, but a lot of them just said, believe in yourself and just work at it. If you believe that you can be something, you will be it. What is for you will be for you, you know?
Yeah. No, I love it. I'm a big advocate in women in sports. So I love it what I'm seeing from you guys, and really inspired that you guys are getting more opportunities now in the sports industry and getting to cover it, and that's what I love. And speaking of Canadian reporters, I had Julie Stewart Binks on my show way back.
Ah,
Yeah, so have you connected with her? Do you know her a lot?
no, but I
Uh,
will. I
Yeah.
will.
Yeah, she's amazing. I was it was an honor having her on the show. She's
No
one.
kidding.
Yeah, she was she's one of the best, obviously, in Toronto, in my opinion. And when I actually my friend helped me out with that to get the interviews
Oh,
set.
look at
Yeah,
that. It's who you know. It's who you know.
yeah. So I gotta ask you this: when did you start becoming a Raptors fan? And obviously, you guys have a big fan base, and with Drake and Nav, the sports fanatic. But when did you start getting interested in being a Toronto Raptors fan?
Ooh. I think I've just always gravitated to being a Raptors fan. As a Canadian girl born here in this country, we all love Raptors. Ask any Canadian who's their basketball team. They might have like players that they admire from other teams, but we just rock. It's just like Canadian loyalty, you know? So, I mean, I feel like I started loving basketball in high school, and that's when I really gravitated towards just Raptors in general. I had the odd players that I admired and I liked, but it's always been a Raptors fan, Raptors for life. I will ride for them no matter what.
Wow. Yeah. So obviously, being a journalist and now you're covering the team. So I want to ask you about the finals run they had 2 years ago when Kawhi was on the team, and man, what a finals run! And that Kawhi obviously was a missing piece. And what was that like? Did you get to like cover these games? Did you go? Were you able to be in the stadiums covering these games? But what was it like just being a Raptors fan and being a journalist at the same time and seeing this team evolve? At the beginning of the season, going through the ups and downs, and obviously Kawhi, and just take me to the reaction about that year.
Oh, wow. Just my heart is like smiling. Obviously, the most epic run, I think,
Yeah.
in basketball history. At least any Canadian would say that. It was incredible to watch. Um, I'll never forget it. I was at game 5 versus Golden State. It was here in Toronto. We had anticipated everyone was ready. Champagne was on ice. Okay. We were like, we're winning, like in Toronto. And we ended up losing that game.
Oh man.
Of course, that's the game that KD
Yeah,
went in.
Katie got hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, that was unlike any experience I've ever like just been a part of. It was surreal. Fans were crazy. The players, you could just feel energy
Right.
like everywhere. You couldn't even hear anything. People are like so loud. People say that we do have the like loudest, rowdiest, most loyal fans in the NBA. We do.
Mm.
There is nothing like a game here in Toronto. So that was surreal. But it's not as sweet as actually winning. When we won, they were in San Francisco, and the city exploded. I feel like I couldn't sleep that night because there were horns and people yelling, people screaming until like 6 in the morning. Everyone was like going crazy. Our parade was, I think, the biggest in NBA history. It was flooded. Our city was flooded. It's like a mini New York, flooded. Blew my mind. I'll never forget that experience. It was surreal to be here, to see the players, to see everything. I don't have the words. Like, I want to relive it again. We're not really on track to do that this year. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
This no, the one thing I love about the Raptors team, even though they're struggling, we're gonna get to this year. Obviously, what a crazy 2020 was with the bubble, but the one thing I like about this team is that they always compete. Nick Nurse is a heck of a coach, though. I love Nick Nurse as a coach. I think that was a perfect fit, bringing him off from the bench. I think that was a good fit. But I want to ask you. So take me back to the fan base. What's it like just seeing? Obviously, there's no fans right now, but what was it like just seeing these fans erupt and seeing their team finally winning a championship? Because the Raptors do have the best fan base, in my opinion, in basketball, and for you to be able to be part of it and seeing Drake on the sidelines and Nav, the super fan.
He's very nice, by the way.
You met him before?
He's amazing. You should have him on your show.
I know. Yeah.
He's amazing. Like the sweetest soul you will ever meet. Like,
have you met Drake too?
I have met Drake, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Also very nice person. Cool. Hey, Canadians.
Yeah.
We're like that. We're friendly people. There's nothing. It's just fan love. I don't know how else to explain it. Like love. A complete stranger sitting next to you.
Yeah.
But you know them because you have this common fascination and love for the same team, and you all have this goal, and you just believe so heavy, and it goes beyond just Toronto. It's Canada.
Yeah.
Like Canada, all of us. There used to be kind of like, we have a Jurassic Park. I'm not sure if you've heard of that.
Yeah. Jurassic Park is the. I think that I saw on TV during the finals, the fans were all over the place in Jurassic Park.
Yeah. So I feel like those are like the real hardcore fans who come out here in the dead of winter, like cheering on this team in Jurassic Park. And then there's these created Jurassic Parks in every city across Canada. So it's so wild to see people like love this team with every ounce of their being. Like every ounce. It's remarkable. It's special. Like I definitely recommend people experiencing a game here in Toronto. It could be Toronto versus whatever your favorite team is. Would be so worth it for you to just feel this energy. I'm speechless. I don't have words to even describe it.
Yeah, I'm a New York Knicks fan, so.
Really?
Yeah, we're having a good year this year so far. So.
Yeah, y'all are doing real good. I was very surprised.
It's a Tom Thibodeau effect. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
that's a franchise that could potentially be turning around here.
I can't wait. I love the team we have right now, and we have a lot more depth this year. And I think the front office, we have a better front office finally, making right moves and a lot of great young talent. Obi Toppin is going to be a stud, I feel like, but it has to work. The problem is for me as a Knicks fan, I need to see more. So right now, obviously we're at this moment as a Knicks fan, all we can say is take one game at a time and see where it goes. Yeah. But I gotta ask you about the Kawhi Kawhi situation, because how confident were you that he was going to stay? Because I really thought he had a good thing going there in Toronto, and obviously, forget about the laugh situation. That was funny, uh, but I'm gonna ask you that later. But I gotta ask you, how confident were you that he was gonna resign? And obviously, he wanted to go back home to LA, but was there a chance that he was there a chance during the meeting or whatever? I don't know. He was obviously, it was a tough choice for him. But how confident were you? What was your percentage that he was gonna stay?
Like 99%. I mean, I was very saddened to hear that he was moving on, and shocked
Mm-hmm.
for sure. But he wanted to go home,
Yeah.
and although we offered him a house, a condo, free food at any restaurant,
Yeah.
wine and dine, anywhere he wanted to go in the city, you could eat for free. We gave him a plane, we gave him cars, we gave him everything paid
Mm-hmm.
free. It just doesn't compete with home,
Right.
and we understand that. It just was very shocking because we thought he would run it back at least 1 year. Um, but it's okay. I mean, we have this, so like
Yeah, you got the ring. Oh, you got the nice.
we're not that mad.
Yeah, let's go.
That sad about
I like
it.
that. I like that.
So it was worth it. He will. I think he's still like Canada's like trophy. We still love him. I would love to see him come to Toronto again and play here because I don't know. There's just something about him, and we are so thankful to have the experience that he gave us. Yeah, sad, but it is what it is. It's a business, and you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. You should keep that ring as a show, though. That's amazing.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, so I gotta ask you before we get into the bubble situation from last year and now this season, but I gotta ask you about two players that I really love on Toronto. Obviously, Kyle Lowry's he's one of the best point guards in my opinion in the league. But I want to get to two inspiring stories: Pascal Siakam and Fred VanVleet. They came from a long way. They had to work from the ground up. I'm gonna quote Drake here: "Started from the bottom, now you're here." So that's where they came from. So what's it like seeing them do up their game and now being legitimate starters? And Fred VanVleet, man, he earned that money, and and he's showing it this year too. But what's it like just seeing them do up as two of the best young players now in the league?
Oh, inspiring. It is so inspiring, and I think they are inspiring millions and millions of people who want to play
Yeah.
basketball because both Fred and and, and Pascal weren't your friend for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, can you hear me?
Fred and Pascal are both individuals who weren't. Oh, I can. Now I can hear you.
Oh, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Your screen keeps lag. Hold on.
I see yours is lagging too. Hold on.
Hold on.
What is going on? Brief intermission?
Is it good now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's not bad, but
Okay.
am I freezing?
No, you're good now. You're good now.
Okay. Fred and Pascal, both I think are the most inspiring players coming out of Toronto just because they weren't the number one drafts. They were, I mean, they like hustle. Hustle is what got them to where they are today, and much deserved. It's beyond me because Pascal wasn't a basketball player.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He wasn't.
No.
He like that wasn't really on the radar. He just kind of picked up a ball and was like, "Oh, all right, here we go, ride this wave." And now he's kind of like our trophy player. So it's so inspiring to me, and I think to many other individuals that like you can really do anything you want if you work for it. Fred, same thing, just heart hustle, grind, bet on yourself, and he does. And it's so incredible. I admire both of them, and they both have incredible hearts, are incredible people, beyond court life. So it's great to have guys like that on our team and a part of our franchise. I'm thankful. I think a lot of Canadians admire them and love them. So we're happy.
Yeah, like Fred Van Fleet was undrafted too, so that was an it's amazing story there. But like I said, you guys have a lot of great young talent. Not only those three players, you have like Chris Boucher, I like another player I like, and then you have Chris Anaboya. What's his name? And
Yeah, with OG and Anobi.
yeah, OG, yes. Mm-hmm.
So incredible.
Yeah.
Just love them to death. Follow our systems, work hard for our team, believe in the system, and work towards it. So, I mean, we're struggling right now as a team. We're trying to figure it out. Obviously, we're very frustrated, but I trust that all these guys we're going to come around. It's just a matter of like kind of figuring out the pieces a little bit. We're just a little bit of a rough start, but we're good.
Yeah. So so I want to ask you about last year. Obviously, last year was a troubling year for everyone and going through a lot. And what did you think of the bubble experience and for these teams? And obviously, Toronto was in the bubble too, and obviously Lakers capped it off with the championship, which I loved. And because they went through a lot with Kobe situation, and they won it for Kobe. That's what that was a great season for them. But what did you think overall with the bubble season and all the virtual fans?
I loved it. I love that we were able to experience safe basketball in such an unprecedented time. And kind of back then, we still didn't know much about COVID. So for them to do that was really, really incredible. I think the Raptors did struggle in the bubble. They were not the same team prior. Like the hiatus really bit us in the butt. I'm not sure what happened. I just don't know. But we were not the same team. Team chemistry was off. Team flow. We're just not the same Raptors team. I think we could have gone much further in the bubble. It was definitely disappointing to see that we could not close out. But it's a hard year. You're away from your families. You're away from those that you love. You're dealing with this pandemic that you don't know what's happening. It's a Black Lives Matter movement, and you're trying to fight for political rights. There's so many factors. So despite all of that, we were okay. I'm happy that the team knows that it wasn't the best performance. I think every player understands that. I think Nick knows that, and it's very evident. So to come out better and stronger the following season was a key. Have we done that? Have we shown that? Not yet. We did get recruit some new players, so there is a little bit of a shift. We did lose Serge Ibaka and we did lose Marcus Gasol. Those are two really big key players to our franchise, and it did put a little bit of a dent in our roster, but we still have to kind of figure out a way to kind of get back to it. I'm not sure what it is. I feel like there's lots of trade rumors going around. But we just need to come around eventually. But the bubble, not our best performance. We could do better. We're trying to do better the following season.
Yeah, no. The bubble was I think for example, that I think the bubble was in trouble for the Suns, and I still can't believe the Suns didn't make the playoffs. Being 8-0 in the bubble, that's crazy, and still missed the playoffs. And obviously, they're having a great season this year, but I think some teams did have effect, like you said, the Raptors did. I would say the Brooklyn Nets had an effect, but they still played hard.
True.
Yeah, but a few other teams though didn't seem right to me when the season came back. But the Lakers looked good, and obviously
Nuggets were incredible.
Huh?
Nuggets.
Oh, Nuggets. Yeah, the Nuggets were good. The Heat were good. No one expected.
Clippers and Bucks fell short. Really, really short.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Clippers are looking good this season. They're looking much better than their performance in the bubble. We'll see.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts overall this year with the season this year? Obviously, now back in the stadiums with no fans, and some of these teams are struggling. The teams that I expected to have good seasons, but it's still struggle. It's still early. But what are your overall thoughts on this season so far?
I mean, it is still early. I think everyone's trying to find their kind of flow and team chemistry. There are some teams that haven't played for like 200 plus days, and
Right.
others who just got off a season. Um, we'll see. It's so tough to say kind of how it's going to go. I think um, it's going well for most teams. I think I get really excited to watch Nets. I get really excited to watch Celtics. I love watching Lakers. They only got better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shoe in. Suns are really fun. There's lots of teams that I'm looking forward to kind of keeping up with and seeing kind of what happens. The West is very strong to me. I don't know if you feel that way.
No, I agree 100%. The West has gotten stronger.
I'm
If
like,
you think about it, I really like the Clippers getting Ibaka. I think
yeah,
that's a good pickup.
very, very good. Very, yeah. Like the Battle of LA, I think. I mean, if I can predict, I just really see Lakers, Clippers coming out. I just, for some strange reason, I just am calling Lakers because they're so good, and I'm like, who's gonna beat them?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm excited to see what kind of basketball this season brings us. It should be a really thrilling season.
Yeah. So obviously I saw your Instagram stories. I replied to one of them, I think, and you had the Lakers and the Nets in the finals, and I agree with you 100%. I
Okay.
still believe the Nets and Lakers. But I want to ask you this: so with the Nets situation, obviously they've had a big win yesterday against the Jazz. That was a huge win without KD, obviously being there, not with the protocol situation. What do you think? What concerns you with the Nets? Obviously, Dinwiddie's out for the year. That was devastating when I heard that. But what do you think they need to do better as a team? And when Katie comes back, but they're still trying to find their chemistry. But do you think they'll eventually find it sooner than later?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're showing promise. Um, they are a good team. You can see the foundation. You can see that they're skilled. Um, it's a new. It's not a new group, but it's a new group, kind
Yeah.
of like playing together. My only concern with them is they fall apart, similar to the Clippers
Yes.
last season,
Yeah.
where it's team chemistry. There's a lot of ego going around. Nothing's working, and then it just collapses. Everything collapses. That's my biggest fear for Brooklyn. If they can overcome that, they can work with one another's personalities. They have the talent, they have the skill, they have the ability, they have an incredible coach. I think they can do it. I'm certain. It's just if they collapse,
Yeah.
it could, dismantle the plan. So, but it would be a compelling story to see kind of KD versus LeBron.
Yeah.
We would all love to see that.
Yes. Yeah. I still have that pick, and obviously you still have it. So we both feel confident. And if it does happen, me and you have to have a show again at
Yeah.
some point, so we can go over that situation. But yeah, so it's gonna be a lot. I'm just happy that basketball is back, and obviously living. Hopefully, there's fans coming in soon, especially in the Mecca. Like I said, the Knicks are they're on their way back up, and imagine those fans in the Mecca, man, seeing these young talent and play hard every day. The Mecca would be rocking right now. I just miss having fans in these stadiums.
Yes, me too. Me too. And it's tough, I think, on our Raptors. Every game is a away game, even if it's home.
Yeah, so I wanna
They're not fans. As Canadians, we can't even get out of this country right now.
right.
So there are not our own fans in Tampa. They're all fans cheering for the opposing team, which is just so tough
Mhm.
on the players. It sucks. It's not an excuse. But coming from a team that has the best fans to having no fans for an entire year, every single game, it sucks. So Hopefully this COVID stuff can be alleviated so we can get our boys back into our country.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask you that question because you know the reason, obviously COVID, but do you know the reason, the other reasons why they denied them from playing in Canada this year?
Um, I think just Canadian government and border officials are quite strict about who's coming in and out of the country. Um, to have American teams in and out, in and out, in and out, I just don't
Yeah.
think it's sat well. NHL, I believe, is playing in Canada as a Canadian bubble. So I
Oh,
don't
okay.
think there's going to be like there's a division here in Canada. I
Okay.
think two divisions in Canada, I think. Don't quote me on it. But there's a Canadian division and an American division. I think at finals there'll be some kind of something. I don't know. But we obviously couldn't do that, so it just made sense for them to play in an American city. Uh, to know what the Canadian government are going to be doing, we don't know. They're doing this to protect us and keep our COVID cases low, which they are, and we are fortunate as Canadians to be quite safe here, and fortunate to have that security. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Hmm. So but you still from your house you still be covering the games, right?
Yeah, everything virtually. I think everyone's a virtual leader
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, so I'm gonna ask you this: what's it like now covering? Also, you, not only you cover NBA, you cover WNBA. So what's it like covering the WNBA also and seeing the young women playing hard and seeing these young talented teams? And obviously, I had two people from the Atlanta Dream on my show.
I
The
know.
yeah,
Okay.
the head coach Nikki Collin and Renee Montgomery was on my show too.
Oh,
So
amazing. Good for
yeah,
you.
yeah, so it was an honor talking to both of them, and obviously they're making headlines on the news, but they're help with the social injustice, and I'm just proud of them. I reached out to them saying I'm really proud of you guys for doing this, and I'm just honored for them to be on my show and be part of it. And Renee Montgomery, man, she's a inspiring athlete. And not only, but first I want to give a shout out to Maya Moore for starting this. Maya Moore started this whole thing, and but what's it like just seeing the WNBA grow as a league? And shout out to Kathy, the commissioner. She's doing a great job. And what's it like? What's it like just covering that too?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it hits home for me just being an athlete myself, a women's basketball player. I adore these girls.
Yeah.
I love what they're doing. I think they are extremely talented. It's so disappointing to me to see how underrated people think WNBA is. It's a very incredible league. It's so inspiring. I love it. I love it. So it's critical to me to keep that part of my life, keep them in a part of my life, and I want to show more people that their league is incredible. I want them to know that these girls can ball. I want them to know that these girls are champions. I want them to know how amazing they are, because I don't know a lot of my friends who watch or care or know any of the teams.
Mm-hmm.
So I just I do it out of love to just want to be involved and want to be a part of it. I mean, I would 100% like live in America just to be working for the WNBA Association. Like I would love to just but I do what I can with what I have. If there's like any like WNBA like person I'm like need to meet, it's probably Skylar Diggins Smith. I
Diggins.
adore her. Yeah. I'm like low key kind of like a really really big fan. So love her, love her team. Yeah, it's important to me. It hits home for me, and I just want to do what I can and be a voice and an advocate for them. I think it takes a lot of people to put them on the map, and I think 2020 was a year that helped WNBA be more recognized, and it was incredible to see NBA players like sporting and rocking these women. Like it's about time, you know. So it's so great to see, and I hope that continues and people show love and respect to these women as they deserve.
It is to see that's why I'm a big advocate in women in sports, and I was like, I'm just grateful that both of them were on my show, and like I said, they're both inspirations, and obviously Nikki Collins, a great head coach, and Atlanta, she has them leading the right way. Atlanta Dream, they're going to be a great team coming in the coming years. But
Yeah.
so now I do this rapid fire segment with all my guests that come on the show. You ready for this?
Okay.
All right, Kawhi Leonard's laugh or Kevin Hart's laugh?
I'm a stick with Kawhi. Like I love Kevin, but like Kawhi is just like that's so funny.
uh,
Wow, that's so good. I was not expecting you to say that.
um, so my next one is, what was your reaction when you saw Becky Hammond making history in the NBA? I really love that one. Being
um,
the first female to take over a game.
I feel like I was like, what was I doing? I feel like I stood, like I stopped because I was like, wait a minute. Like I just didn't believe it. I didn't believe it.
Right.
And then I had to like I Googled and then I got like a couple notifications from like the score, NBA, whatever. And I clicked one of those articles because I was like, what? Like I didn't believe it. And then when it like actually sunk in and I saw like the footage, I was like, wow, this is history. I'm watching history. I was in shock and just inspired. I think like I don't know, one day she could be
Yes. I'm.
coach.
Mm,
Um, and I think she's setting the grounds for more women to kind of be in that role. It's crazy that there hasn't been, but shocked and in disbelief, but in the best possible disbelief. Like I was inspired.
yeah. That was amazing, and I really want her to be the first female head coach, hopefully soon. And I'm hoping the Spurs make that happen, or some other team, hopefully. But I see a Michael Jordan picture behind you. Is that one of your role models growing up, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm too young to have known, to have seen him play. Because when he was winning championships, I was like running around in diapers.
Yeah.
But his mentality, who he is as a person, is inspiring, as it probably is to many people. I have the late, amazing Kobe is here.
Oh, rest in peace, Kobe.
Rest in peace, Kobe. No words needed to explain that. And then this is the Game 7 Raptors versus Philly.
Oh, Kawhi's game winner. Yeah.
Yes. So 3. I mean, I feel like I always rotate one. These two are like the common ones that never move, and then I kind of switch it. So that was like it's unforgettable. So yeah,
That's amazing. That's really amazing.
yeah.
And you know what? When you do your interviews or something virtually, that's what you should be. You should be sitting right there. Those 3 should be your background while interviewing these players or whoever, whatever you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a perfect setup for you.
Thank you.
Favorite food?
Favorite food? Pizza. I love pizza. I'm a pizza freak. If I'm not eating pizza, I eat a lot of eggs.
Eggs.
I like eggs. Yeah.
What was your most memorable? Wait, what was your most high-scoring game that you played in?
Ooh. I think it probably would have been like my 4th or 5th year playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I maybe scored like 25.
Wow.
Around there, maybe. Like, it's very tough for me to say. I don't know. I've way too many games in my lifetime.
All right. I'm gonna put you on the spot here. What's your all right? What's your top 5 Drake songs?
Top 5 Drake songs. Okay, in no particular order. I'm just gonna kind of go with the ones that are like coming to me. Drake has a song called Passion Fruit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I go with that. There's another one that's like for all the women.
Yeah.
What is it? What is it called?
Oh, is it hold on, we're going
Um,
home? Oh, no, that's not it. Right? Is it the one hold on, we're going home? Oh,
um, hmm, hmm. Had a man last year. She gotta go to. I don't even know.
uh,
Drake. Ooh. I also love all like the. Remember when Drake made like a bunch of songs with
yeah.
Future, and it's like
Yep.
Jumpman, and
Yeah,
then
Jumpman, Jumpman.
that
Oh,
whole
and another one is Digital Jazz. I like that one.
oh
Yeah,
yes. I mean, it's super funny.
yeah,
Drake is like our god here in
yeah.
Toronto. So like you might be
Six,
like
six
walking
God, six God.
six. Yes, he's our sixth god. Joke. You'll be literally at like the bookstore
Yeah,
and it's like Drake playing.
yeah.
And then you'd be at the grocery store, Drake's playing. Like
Mhm.
he's everywhere. You come here, he's literally his music is always playing, his name's on it's written everywhere. Like it's crazy. That's Toronto. We love him.
Yeah. So, what's that one word or one quote that you keep with you every day?
My biggest thing is like being forever grateful. I always say that. I always talk about that. Gratitude is the key to happiness.
Hmm.
Good energy, a smile. Um, it's just important to me to have an immense appreciation for the present and for what is, and with grateful expectation believe that a higher power, whomever you believe, is working to bring you whatever opportunity or whatever it is you desire in life. It all stems from gratitude, and the easiest way to have it is to love what you have right now. So
Yeah.
that's my thing.
All right. So, how many Raptors jerseys do you own right now?
I don't own that many,
Yeah.
um, but I don't own like I always custom my jerseys and put my own name on the back.
Oh, nice.
I
Okay.
just feel like I'm just gonna wear my own name, you
Yeah.
know? I don't really like I'm not out here buying a Lowry jersey.
Right.
I don't even own like even if I wanted a Lakers jersey, I don't think I would put like LeBron's name on it. And that's just like a me thing. I just love to rock like my lucky number and my name. So every
Yeah.
jersey I have is my own name. I think I have like 3 or 4.
Wow. Shea-Lynn Noyes. I like that. Um. So, so my next one here is, so how grateful are you to be in this position right now, and for you to be able to play the game you love and also cover the game you love now? So what's it like that, and how grateful are you just to be in this position right now?
Oh, it means so much to me. Like I wasn't in this position a few years ago, so to be where I am right here, right now, is like remarkable. I have so much like peace and happiness, and I know it's very simple, but it's so much to me, and I just have so much gratitude. I'm so thankful. And I'm so appreciative. Like I wake up with this energy, this aura, and I didn't have that before. Like
Mhm.
not even like a little bit. So I'm very happy. I'm very thankful. This is just the beginning, and yeah, I feel like I'll always be thankful. I'll always have gratitude every second of the day. I'm like, oh, thank you. Oh, grateful. Ooh.
And that's why I was really hoping that you can be my co-host. That
Aww,
you're amazing. I'm telling you, your
thank
your
you.
your talent is out of the world. Like,
Oh, stop it.
no, but no. Before we get to the last two things, I want to bring this up. This is really important. Me and my former co-host Ariel Schaefer, we partnered up with the Hugh Jackson Foundation. A couple, I think it was like last month, and obviously he's a former NFL coach. He's trying to get back into coaching, and his team and they're big advocates in helping to prevent human trafficking. It's still a big problem in this day, and we are now both of us are helping them to prevent that from happening and making making sure these kids and other people make the right choices in their lives and making the community safer. So I want to, if you guys get a chance, check out the Hugh Jackson Foundation. Is really inspiring. We're just grateful that we're part of it and helping them out now. So I just want to bring that up.
Oh, that is so incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna be there. I'm checking it out, so y'all better check it out too.
Yeah. And the last two things here. This is a question. Obviously, this is a question and about Kobe, and he was one of my biggest role models growing up. And obviously, I had the girl dad shirt in the house, and when I heard the Gianna news, it just got to me too, and it was just devastating. She's 13, 14 years old, just coming into her own. She was going to be a future basketball star in the WNBA. UConn, also UConn bound, and just to see her in the news, it was just horrible. And you remember where you were at that day, and what did they mean to you?
Yeah. Just shaken. I think I remember feeling just so like not in my own present body for like a good few weeks. Just so shaken, so torn just by this horrific, um, shocking incident that just didn't feel real. Um, and it's crazy because I didn't know Kobe personally. I didn't know Gianna. I didn't know those beautiful souls that we're missing today. I didn't know them, but you feel their hurt. You feel the hurt that Vanessa's going through and her other daughters. You feel that. So I just still, even still, it's heartbreaking. There's no words. We are coming up on that anniversary of
Oh,
that
yeah.
passing, and it's so sad. Like so sad, heartbreaking. And I mean, all you can really do is like pray for Vanessa and her family. And um, I believe that Gianna and Kobe are playing basketball with the best angels, and they are happy and they're at peace. I believe that as long and with the other families that also were affected and girls, it's just shaking. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you feel the same way.
Like shout out to Ellie Duncan for starting the girl dad movement. I had the shirt, like I said before, and I'm trying to get Ellie on the show. She's really inspiring, and I'm sure you know her from ESPN, and she started that movement. And kudos to her. And but when the one and obviously Kobe's been my role model for his whole career, but just seeing the daughter involved, it just really got to me. It's like, come on, it's like take her life away too. It's like 13, 14 years old, and like
So sad.
I mean, she already had Kobe's fadeaway shot too at 13 years old. That's crazy. But
She definitely, I think, was going to be that one woman to change how people perceive the WNBA.
yeah,
That is a fact I believed.
yes,
That she was going to get to the league and everyone was going to be eyes on the WNBA, respecting that league. Um, I think as a whole, we now are all like, let's pick up the pieces and make sure people notice this league and respect this league. I just, losing her just took a chunk out of just who she could have been. And she's already on UConn. She's already in the league. She's already in the WNBA. We all believe that and know that. It's just, it's sad.
yeah.
It's so sad.
So before we get to the last thing, we lost another legend, Paul Westphal, another NBA legend. Man, that was another loss, and uh, rest in peace to him. My prayers and thoughts are with his family and all. And also Dr. Dre, he's in the hospital right now too, recovering from a brain aneurysm. So hopefully he recovers, and we're wishing him a speedy recovery. And man, 2021 has not. It's obviously the same thing in 2020, and I really expected a positive thing, but now we're heading into the same trend from last year. But hopefully at some point we get some positive news. But I just want to bring those two names up. Prayers up to Paul Westphal's family, and hopefully wishing a speedy recovery to Dr. Dre. For those, yeah.
Yeah.
And the last thing here, would you like to say anything to all the nurses, doctors, or essential workers right now?
Oh, I love you. I'm thankful for you every single second of the day. Um, I'm doing my part. I'm telling people around me to do their part. Um, be safe, wear a mask. There are people risking their lives for us every day, frontline workers, and we don't deserve you. Wow, we are so
Yeah.
fortunate. We are. It's unbelievable how fortunate we are. Canadian nurses, doctors, caretakers, all of it. Beyond me what you do every day for our country, and I'm assuming the same for America. Just incredible people. We love you. We as Canadians at like 7 p.m. we like do like a bell ringing or like a noise making for frontline workers. We do that here in Canada. I'm not sure if people do that in America. It's a very Canadian thing, but you'll just like hear a ton of noise.
Oh wow.
Every day at 7 in whatever like city or in Canada, to show them just like the love and support that we have for you, so we can get us out of this mess, which we're so thankful for. But yeah,
You guys are 1 hour behind or two? What are you guys
right now it's 9:24.
Oh, okay, same time as us. Okay, there you go.
Okay, where are you based out?
I'm in Jersey.
Oh, Jersey. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, we're the same time zone.
I haven't seen the lockdown, but you need to come to Jersey one day.
I should. When our borders and things are open, then definitely I will be headed there for sure. I'm actually a big New York fan.
Yeah,
Just love the city. I love kind of New York and all that.
yeah, but there it is. That wraps up episode 657 with the talented, inspiring Shea-Lynn Noyes. Go follow her on all social media formats. She's the best, amazing. She's a model, a journalist, covers the NBA, WNBA, does it all. A former basketball athlete. Man, this has truly been an honor, and I'm happy that we finally got to make this happen. And I'll be posting this on all social media formats so people see your story. And I'm going to be tagging Jamil Hill and Taylor Roach so they see it too.
Tag them. Thank you so much for having me. I feel so honored and so grateful to be here to experience your energy. You are incredible. I'm so excited to watch you and see what you do in 2021. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Anytime, and keep up the great work. And obviously, we're gonna stay connected. And I wanna do more shows with you. I feel like we make a good tandem. So you and your family stay safe.
Thank you.
Anytime. All right. See you.